Oh, hey guys, just reading the Ferment magazine, which is interesting because there is actually an article in here for a change. I'll show you. It's about Brewski, and that's whose beer we're doing today. It's a double pager as well, which is fantastic because they don't usually do that. So this is the Beer Awards version. I'm going to put this down so I can talk to you guys. Um, the beer we are talking about today is this one. It's called Swift or Little Swift. There we go. Hazy Pale, I guess. 4.2% on the ABV. And I can't believe it, but by pure fluke, I picked this beer up today after doing the other one earlier on. And this is a triple C pale ale as well. So very, very similar to the one I've already uploaded. If you haven't seen that one, please check that out. Does help the channel out if you like the videos. I always try and say that. But most of you don't bother, so that's fine. As long as you're watching the video, I don't mind, to be perfectly honest. But if you want my channel to get the recognition that I want it to get, yeah, if you could click like, that would be brilliant. So the difference is this bad boy contains oats, and the other one only had wheat in it. So this has wheat and oats. Otherwise, very, very similar. Yes, so the hops are slightly different. We've got Chinook, Cascade, and Columbus. So there's no Citra in this bad boy, which kind of makes it even more old school West Coast, which is surprising because this brewery is from Sweden, which is fair dues. So it's a Swedish brewery copying a traditional West Coast style. Brilliant. Let us get this bad boy into a glass. Now, this should have a bit of haze in, so I'm imagining, is it going to drop through? Yep, there it goes. There was a bit of a depth charge at the end there. Have a quick look and see if there's any floaty bits. And it doesn't look like there was. There is a lot of kind of carbonation though. Look at that. But then this glass still needs a bit of a clean. Oh, it smells really clean and crisp. Let's get this in there. Do one of those because that thing. Let's get fuck cancer in there as well. Because nothing you should do in this world prevents you from saying fuck cancer. And me being someone who has cancer, I can get away with saying that shit. Although, when I walk along the supermarket, actually have a look, it doesn't actually say. That is not a CK, believe it or not. That is a ribbon that's twisted. But the amount of mothers, single mothers and otherwise, who hold their hands over their child's, oh, watch out for that evil man. No, miss, do not care about the world. You should illuminate the fact that cancer can get you at any time and not have a go at me. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Look at that head, man. That head definitely looks like a kind of, I mean, it is carbon bubbles. You can see they're slightly bigger, but that looks so much like a nitro head. That is really, really cool. I am liking this already. Oh, really floral, but quite fresh, quite clean as well, which is brilliant. And I've been used to drinking beers that are, some of them are long past their sell by date, but that's another story altogether. If you want to check that out, subscribe to my channel, look at my back catalogue. About a week ago, my God, I had a beer that was a year and a half outside its date, and it was dank as a mofo. Yeah, grapefruity, but nice in a floral way, not in a real zesty way. As you can hear, dear viewer, my voice is still going through COVID mode, which is nuts. But I got fed up of just sitting on the sofa. I wanted to do reviews. I missed 2 or 3 days worth of reviews, and yeah, it made me feel bad. So to aid my recovery, I thought I'd do some reviews. But if you listen to my voice, you will hear there is racked with nasty stuff. I'm actually feeling not too bad, like in my body, but my throat and my voice, and you'll hear a cough every now and then. It is definitely something nasty. Cheers and beers anyway. Let's see what we get from this one. Ooh, bit of a hiccup there. Wow. This is really interesting because what's happened here is they've taken hops and hopping from a triple C pale ale, West Coast style, and added a malt bill that's very much new school hazy pale. So it's a kind of amalgamation, literally an amalgamation of West Coast versus new school. It's quite interesting. Does it quite work? I'm not sure. I do like the hops, but when you have grapefruity style hops, juicy, shall we say, zesty, shall we say, and then you add that bit of oats there, it makes everything go creamy to a certain degree. And grapefruit cream, for me anyway, doesn't quite work. Um, the one I had earlier on today was more on the money purely because it didn't have the oats in, and I was thinking about it, and then as soon as I started drinking this beer, I was like, yes, that's why they didn't put oats in it, because they wanted to retain, oh God, stuff leaking out of everywhere. Um, yeah, they wanted to retain some of that juiciness, some of that zestiness, which unfortunately, by adding the oats into the malt bill, you're going to get a more creamy kind of thing. And for me personally, and feel free to disagree, that's absolutely fine. But creamy grapefruit doesn't quite work. Um, it's much better suited to things like mosaic and the mango, the kind of stone fruit, the tropical fruits. I know grapefruit, you could argue, is a tropical fruit, but it's a more zesty kind of thing, a more juicy kind of fruit. Um, yeah, and that creaminess, there's too much going on. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't have everything all together. Sometimes the sum of the parts do not make um, everything twice, 3 times as good as the individual ingredients. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Going a bit fruity. Wow. Maybe I have got COVID and it's affecting my brain. Maybe I've got COVID fog, which is crazy. Tell you what it has done though, I do like the effect, and this is kind of, it's not always a new school thing, but when you do put oats and wheat together into a beer, you end up with a fantastic amount of lacing. Look, there's a sort of fish jumping, a jumping fish jumping out of my beer there, and we have, oh, look at that, there's an angel or an elf of some, the angel of the north perhaps, with their arms unfolded across the sea. Oh, very long arm there. Or maybe throwing something into the sea, throwing the ashes of the year 2024 into the sea, long to be forgotten. Thank goodness, what a terrible year this has been. Hopefully you guys aren't as jaded as me, or if you are jaded, you're using jaded water chillers and things like that for your brewing. Hopefully there are some home brewers still watching my channel. Hopefully we can build it up again. We'll see if we can do that in the new year. Wow, look at that. Look at that foam running down the side. Oh, unbelievable. That foam dripping down the feminine bulge of my glass. My goodness me. Look at that. That's outrageous, isn't it? It's like a kind of weird demon face looking at me. I better put that glass down before things go very pear-shaped. Is it a bad beer? No, not at all. Is it the best beer ever? Which the Ferment magazine seems to say it is. No, it is not. This is a bastardization of more than one style. No, it's not focusing. There we go. Focusing on that bird there. What kind of bird is that? Is that a blue tit or something? I'm not sure. It looks really cool though. It's going at some extreme speed, delivering those hops to where they need to go, which is cool. Not a bad beer, but far too much going on, in my opinion. This has been your loving Uncle Jonah, drinking beer for your entertainment as usual. You don't always have to agree with me, but I appreciate it. If you disagree, why don't you leave me a message down below? Otherwise, what's the point? And thank you to all those that have been leaving messages for me throughout the year. They really do come in handy, and I do read all of them. And most of the time, I comment, even if it's saying cheers and beers or something cheesy like that. But at least you know I've read what you've said. Guys, this has been Uncle Jonah drinking beers, waxing lyrical, all that kind of good stuff. And don't worry, I'll be back with another one of these amazing beer reviews coming up real soon.